Welcome to CSE 471. The title of this course is System Analysis and Design. I am Dr. Mahmoud Iqbal Hussain, Assistant Professor, Department of CSE, BRAC University. So before going to the details of this course, I like to show you the guideline for this course. Like we will upload the class lecture online, so you have to watch the class lecture, and then in your class time we will have a discussion class where we will discuss about your queries, and if you have any further if you need some further information, we will discuss on that class. Okay. And also in each after each lecture there are some pop-up quizzes or segment quizzes, so you need to participate those quizzes, and all these things will be evaluated. Okay. So you need to participate it carefully, take preparation, and then you can participate. And also the faculties will be available online in the class time, in maybe in Google Meet or Discord or any other media which that faculty preferred. Okay. So there actually we will discuss about your problems, your difficulties, etc. And the most important thing is assignment. I mean, there is other important thing too. There will be some assignments after each lecture, not all lecture, but most of the after most of the lecture there are some assignments, and you have to submit this assignment in the deadline. So this course actually we are just following this book, System Analysis and Design by Dennis Roth. Also you can take a look in the slides, and there are lots of information regarding this in the website, different websites in YouTube, so you can check those things too. So the first lecture is divided in 5 segments, so let's start the segment 1. So what is information system? So information system, those are the software application which handle large amount of data or share information. For example, like Facebook. So Facebook is a social media. So there are Google. So these are it manages a huge number of data. Okay. And also if we look for some application based system like some medical system or e-commerce system, so those are all are these are software. Okay. So whenever there is a system and there is a software, you can say it as an information system. Okay. And these information systems, they might be in Java, in .NET, maybe in Python, in PHP, MySQL, whatever the programming language is. Okay. So in the information systems there are several parts, like if you design something like some medical device which is controlled by a central system, okay, or a home security system, so there will be some hardware. Okay. Then the software parts, the program which actually process the data, that is the software part. Also the database, there is another important thing, like whenever we deal with a huge number of data, storing data and analyze those data, so we need some structured way to store those things. Like for example, like in Facebook, it processes around 2.5 million content, okay, and around 500 terabyte of data each day. Okay, so they need to deal with the huge number of data every day. Okay, so they build several server in the world in several places. Also we can think about some networks, because whenever we I mean, if there is any system that is mainly focused on networking, so in that cases also we need to design the networks. And also there are some we need to develop some procedures, so that consists of different commands for combining the components above to process information and produce a preferred output. So now I will just tell you some bad stories, or you can say the horror stories. Like here you can see some large number like $23 million spent by Bank of Asia beyond Bomber is $1 billion. Iran 5 flight 501 is around $500 million. So the different organizations are using this amount of money, but at the end the software or the system is not working according to the specification. Okay, so where is the problem? So we'll discuss those things later about this thing. I just want to show you that how important this is, and you can search online about different software error, I mean the effect of software error in different projects. So in the software industry, around 30% of projects are cancelled, 50% of projects are over budget, and many delivered systems are underused because they don't meet the user needs, okay, or user expectation. So we need to focus on what a user need. So if your user, because the user will use their system. Okay, so if you don't build that system according to that need, that requirement, so people who don't use that thing. Suppose you are using you are developing a software for bank, so you need to understand how the bank works and who will use those system. So you need to build that system like that. Okay, so you cannot just build a system according to some standard or something. So you have to make some plan for that. So we'll discuss those things in the later part. So why this course is important, or what we'll learn in this course is, mm, we need to, like, before discussing that, I like to just say, like, we need to do requirement and design right. So whatever we do, we need to design that thing. So before designing that system, we need to be clear about the requirement. Suppose you have a land, so you want to build a 6-story building there. Okay, so what will you do? You will call some builders company. They will come, they will check the land, the soil, and other things they will check, and they will build that thing, build that building. Okay, so what will happen after the building is finished? Then you cannot say like, I need to change some design. Okay, so that is not possible because you need to break that building and again rebuild it. So it's the same for software also. Whenever a software is already developed, so you cannot just change the requirement or change the feature. So everything is interlinked. So if you change in some part, it will affect the another part. Okay, so we need to first finalize the requirement first. Then according to the requirement, we will design that thing. So if we just find the errors in the early stage, or if we just be sure that okay, this requirement won't be changed, or there will be some minor changes later, so in that case it is okay. But if you say that there is a major changes, so it will be very difficult. The budget will be higher, the time requires, it will be higher, so around 100 times more to fix some error. Like for example here, like maybe you've seen this photo already. Like the user actually want to build something like this in the last picture, but you can see the customer can explain. So he can just explain like this. So this is not customer's fault because customer is not a technical person. Okay, so that is the system analyst or the engineer or that IT company, that is their job to collect the information, to collect the requirement from the customers. So whenever customer that explain like this, project leader understood like this, the analyst designed like this. So everybody is, there is a misunderstanding between different teams of the software development process. Okay, so that is one of the main problem. Like we cannot, I mean, every team are not know actually what they are doing. Okay, there is no connection between this team. So what we can do, we can use some method for collecting requirements, and also while designing, I mean, different parts will be developed by different people, different team. So we need to make some linkage in different teams. So for that reason, we'll use some standard diagrams like UML diagrams. Okay, so we use different diagrams like a use case, class, sequence diagram, activity diagram to represent the requirements correctly, so that everybody is on the same page. So the key idea or the main goal should be create a value for the organization or the client, because they are actually paying money for the software. Okay, because and most of the time the system fails because we try to build a beautiful system, okay, without understanding the organization. So whatever we do, we need to figure out what are the needs, what the client want or what the organization want, and after that we can design accordingly. So let's talk about a person, that is system analyst. We'll discuss the different role later part. But initially, this system analyst, he is the key person in a software system or building a software system. So what he will do, he analyze the business first, and he identify what are the opportunities for improvement. If there is no opportunity for improvement, okay, fine, he will design a new one. If there is an existing system, then the system analyst can identify the different opportunities for improvement, and after that he will design the information system and implement those ideas. Okay, so the initial planning phase, this system analyst, he actually do this kind of thing. So what is system analyst? So what actually system analysts do, that is system analysis. So system analysis means a collection of notation, methodology and tools that will be used for analyze a program and before uh, the design and implementation. System analysis, or you can say requirement analysis, so that ensured that the system meets the user needs, that I have been talking this users needs before, because we need to focus on what are the requirement, what are the user needs, what people want. So we need to meet that user needs, and it should be delivered on time, and obviously people need it should be inexpensive. Okay, but there is a trade-off between the cost and time. Like if you want to make it quick, so you need to pay more. If you say, okay, this is a 1 year project, so in that case maybe the cost will be lower. So the main problem in system analysis is getting the system analysis right. So if the system analysis is wrong, so whatever we do after that, it should be buggy. There should be lots of problem there. Okay, so there will be ambiguities, inconsistencies, or maybe some mix-up between requirement and design. So we need to make the system analysis right. So why we need a system analysis? As you have seen earlier, some big figures like 1 million, 25 millions or billions dollar. So if we don't make the system analysis correct, we'll find some fault after the delivery. So if we get a fault or error after the delivery, then finding those fault, fixing those things, it will cost more, around 100x more expensive. So we need to make the system analysis correct. So for this we may use some standard, some universally accepted diagram or design protocols, those things. So we'll discuss those in the next part. So this is the end of the second one.